probably would be able to, like maybe, super his freedom, but no.
Okay.
What's crazy is we were always taught that slaves weren't allowed to read and be, they're kind of dumb because, they weren't
I
taught
mean,
anything like that. So I'm trying to figure out how this nigga even know, like,
he's
how to
been
go
free.
about, huh?
He was a free slave for a lot of his life though, because his master, he was a free slave. So his master treated him like a human being, like he wasn't the dog.
Was he light skinned?
No, he was dark as hell, Mac. Black as night. Looked at him. Picture. Can we get a picture of Dre Scott? He was.
Wait, why was he still on the plantation if he was a free man?
He wasn't on the plantation. He was living amongst the community. He was free. He wasn't on the plantation.
Oh, so he was the Django.
Yeah, I was about to say. Or no, not the Django. He was more like Samuel Jackson. No, he was the head house.
They get accustomed of a certain living style, and they just don't want to leave. They get comfortable. But most people.
But no, he had a wife and everything. Like he got married and shit. Like he was free. And then when he tried to cross over to another place, they picked that ass up.
Yeah, you were right.
Basically, that nigga should have just stayed where he was.
I mean, kind of, but no. I mean, yes, but I mean, he's feeling like he had this piece of paper. I mean, back in the day, walking papers, being able to move papers was important back then. So, he's thinking he's following the process. I have my papers from my master, and it says.
Was he looking? Was he looking for his family? Is that why he got caught?
He was married to his wife. No, he was nothing. He was just living in society, like being a productive citizen.
Yeah. That nigga was a free man, let's say in Chicago or whatever. And then he was like, you know what? I want to be a free man in Indiana too. They was like, no, nigga, just here, nigga. Does that sound about right?
Kinda, yeah.
So what was the result? Like when he went to the Supreme Court, we know he won his case, but what kind of
No, he lost his case. No, he lost his case. Judge James Taney.
So did they send him back to the plantation?
No, he didn't go to the plantation, but he basically was locked up, and then once the 14th Amendment was written, he was able to live free, maybe for like a year before he died.
Oh, so
no, on the subject of the 14th Amendment, do you think that? I mean, this is what I think about it. I don't think the 14th Amendment freed the slaves. I think it just altered the conditions in which legally you can have people as slaves, which with the for-profit prisons and the labor prisons. I don't see it as any different.
Yeah, that's true. But this my thing about that though, right? All these people that's supposed to be Christ-like, damn it, y'all didn't say people was property. Like now people was property. Like y'all really had this oath in y'all motherfucking mind that a person with a heart, a brain, 2 legs, 2 feet, it was just a piece of property. Like, come on, bitch, you talking about a cooch, nigga. You know they ain't no damn properties. You didn't go buy that. You didn't come from no wood. You didn't just fish this out the ocean.
Well, that was on them because the Christian church, they condemned slavery and actually made it part of their epistemology. I think 300. It was something like 1600s or something like that. So it's
I think I seen no Christians out there talking about please don't lynch them.
At that time, there were none in the South. I mean, they all thought the same. They, that's where we get the Ku Klux Klan from. They, misreading the Bible and miscomprehending it to say, light is better, dark is bad. Well, they're not talking about Satan and God. That's what they're talking about in the Bible. But the way that those fucking rednecks, twisted it, they turned it into light skin versus dark skin. So, you got to understand these people, they didn't exactly comprehend things very well. And they were also evil.
I think Dred Scott is a dope name for a rapper, to be honest. I think
it is dope.
Name.
Not a rapper.
A nigga with dreads.
Yeah.
No, it's got to be bald. No, it's got to be bald.
Oh, yeah, just for the LOLs.
Deadass. There you go. Dred Scott right there.
Dred Scott.
Dred Scott, new name.
No, that's just kind of interesting to me. Like, let me ask you this, Ski, because I mean, he wasn't like a one of one, right? There's other free slaves like that. So, like, was there other like people going?
He was the first to ever. He was the first to ever go to the court about freeing himself. He was the only person. He was the first person to try to sue the federal government for his freedom.
So he started the movement.
He started it basically. He's the face.
Okay, that makes more sense now.
That nigga's delirious. That nigga was lost his goddamn mind. Thought that shit was gonna go down.
You know what? Honestly, I mean, this is the thing, right? And anybody who's been to college or took a college level class or anything, like to me, I just feel like I disagree, Pat, when you say they probably was evil, but they definitely wasn't dumb. Those were people that went to the best schools in London, went to the best colleges, was with the best whoever. They was in the who's with the real information, the esoteric, all kind of information. So they definitely weren't dumb. They definitely know what they were drafting. They definitely understand interpretation. They,
No,
they,
we'll
they
go.
was highly intelligent. They weren't done by far. You know what I mean? Because wording in legalese is real. So they wrote that document very to me atrocious a little bit.
Well, yeah, it's purposely miscomprehending something to get your goals.
Basically.
Yeah.
So did they kill him or what? Did they hang him? Did they kill
No,
him?
he
What
died.
did they do?
He was only free for a year. Like he was only had freedom for a year, and then he died.
What year was that?
When he died,
Yeah.
he died in 1898.
Damn. Shout out to the
Yeah.
Scots. Shout out to the Scots.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
says
Especially
September
all the Scots that
17th,
got dreads.
1858.
So what do
But I
y'all
think
do y'all think what do y'all think the dress got like present day connection, or what do you think the precedent did to like the legal system and just blacks being citizens, anything brown being citizens? Like what do you think that decision, because that's the first real decision on equality and racial discrimination at the highest level. That's the first precedent that we have, and that's why everything be piggybacked off of that a little bit. So I mean, what do y'all think? How do y'all think that might affect today?
Being the expert on black people that I am, I would say he had that kind of thing has to happen in order for the movement to start. So I mean, somebody had to do it at one point just to get that shit off the ground.
I'm gonna disagree. I'm gonna say I don't think it really meant anything if this is like the first any of us ever heard about him.
Yeah, if the court case didn't win it, that's what I was trying to say.
I mean, but anybody who any immigrant, any lawyer, anybody that knows like citizenship or any type of anything, that's like you can't even.
But you're not going to cite a case where they lost. If you're trying to fight an immigration case or a citizen case, you're going to cite case law.
You're never going to use that case law to fight that. You're selling that for precedent. You're showing that for relationship. You're showing that for the foundational ideology and the thinking and the principle and the principality of the writings of that. That's what you're using that for, that because you want to set the tone with that. That's why you use that, because you want to let people know what they were thinking when they wrote this and what was it.
But he lost though. Like, it doesn't really make sense to use it in that argument. Is my point. That's the only point I got. It doesn't make sense to use that in that context.
But you're just using it for the tone, and also to show black people that you was once judged in 1857 that you could not suit in the court for yourself. You know, you wasn't a citizen because you were property. And in the Fifth Amendment, they had to pay for their slave owners for their, for their property that was taken away. They had to give them the 40 acres and the mule money, not to the people who were released into, civilization with nothing.
If I get this correct, you're saying, and I'm kind of with you on this one, Ski. He did lose the court case, of course, but it brought light. It brought energy
awareness
to the situation. Yes.
Yes.
It's like us wearing pink ribbons, even though we ain't got titties.
Yeah, like maybe the emancipation wouldn't happen as fast without these type of things happening, bringing light to the situation.
Correct.
Let me ask you this: being that my last name is Freeman, and I was always taught that some of our last names actually go off of some of our shit that our ancestors used to do, like Shoemaker or Cook or, Baker and all these things. I was always taught that like the free man was something that happened when we were free. Like that name came from being freed. Is that true? Or since you said
true.
This guy was, I know he lost and everything, but was there a guy that came after him, did the same thing and won, and he was the free man? Like
no, it's not a specific free man. Free man was the last name given to any slave that was pronounced free. So when you left, if you were David, whatever your last name was, they marked you as David Freeman. So Freeman. So yeah, I'm pretty sure just through how it works that your linealogy goes straight back to that.
Oh, I know.
But then you also have like your Washingtons and your Jacksons, that go back from their slave owners' names too. So yeah, Freeman is you could definitely trace your lineage back to a slave that didn't have a last name at some point or just didn't use one.
Like my last name, Taylor, it's spelled as it is, but it directly comes from somebody in my lineage being a clothes tailor at the time. So,
exactly.
Well, my shit Davis, so I got my shit straight from a slave owner because I don't know too much about my lineage because all my grandfathers on my daddy's side died in jail. So I'm probably the only one ain't never been to prison. I think I broke the cycle, but all my grandfathers died in jail.
No, that's a good thing. I was going to ask you this, Matt. You seen Django, right?
Yeah.
What was Django's last name in that movie? You remember?
No, I thought it was Django. Shit.
Freeman.
Remember Django's last name in that movie?
Django Freeman.
It was
Yeah,
Freeman.
he was definitely Django Freeman.
It was Freeman.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was even say
I
that-
got a bone with that name because I've been into it with this dude, and that's his name. He was a close friend of mine that backstabbed me and tried to get me robbed, and somebody lost their life behind that shit. And I don't fuck with that nigga ever since.
Oh shit! I ain't mad at that.
Django?
But I don't know
Dead
that.
ass.
I promise
We
you, I
need to
don't know
be-
that nigga.
Yeah, no, to that nigga.
Yeah, the nigga was a good friend of mine, and all he had to do was ask me for it. But he pulled a stunt on the motherfucker, and that's his name, Freeman. I don't fuck with that nigga.
I don't fuck with any Freemans either, sir.
They kiss my ass.
Except for you, dog.
I appreciate. I love that. Like I said, all my family's from either DC. My Freeman side is DC, Virginia, and that's all that slave shit that we was just talking about. So, nah, it's all respect.
I mean,
What
Do
technically,
y'all think everybody came from that certain people like that's in the world? So say like your name Freeman, right? Yours, how y'all just explained it was kind of universal because it probably goes back to free slaves or whatever. But when you got a motherfucker like me, my last name Davis.
And my last name is Gray.
Do you think everybody that's last name Davis originated from the same slave owner, or it was a bunch of Davises? You think?
There's got to be a bunch of Davises.
My mother's original last name was Davis, and she got married, and it was Jordan. She got married and changed to Jordan.
well, the other thing,
There
I mean,
was
there's
like
been
4 different
so-
Davises in my school, in middle school, and none of them were related.
Well,
no, I
the
ain't
thing-
saying recent time. I'm talking about way
He was
back
talking about
when that
way
shit
back.
started.
And I
Like
think,
the original Davis. Like
Yeah,
there's one
yeah.
guy that was Davis, and they just spread type shit.
Right,
Well-
like say a white slave owner named Davis, goddamn it, had 50 slaves, and he gave all them Davis, and all them 50 had kids, and you feel me, on till today.
oh, it's very possible. But
Yeah, they wouldn't
considering
technically be blood related.
300 years ago, it's possible that name might have came 100 years later when you guys were free. You know, it doesn't. You might have married someone in that was called Davis too. So I mean, until you get like your lineage and kind of decide where that goes, it's really hard to say.
But y'all got to remember, one of these plantations, there's mad slaves, so it ain't like,
Yep.
all right, you're the Davises, you're the Joneses. No, all y'all motherfuckers is Davises.
Yep. It was
But
just a
that's
house
how they
name.
see my mother's side of the family is from Mississippi, right? And that's how they all identified each other. Like them the Smiths, them the Davises, and them the Scotts. And you feel me? Like if you ask some motherfucker, like if somebody asks you, like, you from Mississippi, you be like, yeah. The first thing I'm gonna say, what's y'all last name? Because that's how everybody know each other. You'd be like, okay, my family down there was the Smiths. So I'd be like, yeah, my grandmother's from Lexington. What's the last name? The Smiths. Oh yeah, I know the Smiths. We used to go to church with them and all that shit.
Yeah.
That's such
It's
a
easier to
common
do that in a small community, though, especially like when you get down south and it's such a close knit between church and just being in the local community. It's a lot easier to do that than it is to like a place like Chicago. You know how many fucking Johnsons we got in Chicago? You know what I mean?
Right.
That's a common name too, Johnson. Shit,
Really, everything is common nowadays. Everybody,
Yeah.
the only motherfuckers that pretty much got names that ain't that common is these new motherfuckers like Zachariah and Quintanisha and all that ghetto ass shit.
Yeah, but their
Yeah.
last name is still going to be, original. They
Jackson,
first name should be
Johnson.
some bullshit, but their last name is going to be some slave shit, some nigga shit. Unless you got one, some of them niggas like to change their names. Them 5%ers and shit, they'll change their name to Dasheen and all that shit. So
Yeah, them weird ass 5%ers.
Hey,
I don't even know what the fuck that means.
Hey,
What the fuck
walk
is a
up-
5%er?
walk
What
up
that
talking
mean? You
that
believe
shit.
in God 5%? What does that mean?
Ski, go ahead and explain it.
it's just a paradigm that came from Michael Clarence X, and it's just like more of an ideology. It's like it's under Islam.
them
but
New York niggas, man. Them New York niggas, the gods and the earths. The
Yeah,
God, hey, yo,
you know what I
God,
mean?
we God, and we God, and, all that 5% of shit.
But anyway, it's about balance and mathematics and the day and really just being true to the earth. That's it.
What's the mathematics
said,
for today,
weird
Ski?
shit.
What's the mathematics for today, Ski?
Born, cipher, life, and live.
See,
The
you
hell does
gotta
that
be on
mean?
that type of shit right there. If you ain't on that type of shit, they'll beat your ass if you ain't got that. They make you study till you get it right.
So was that bodybuilder dude a 5%er? The dude that died from I think he had a heart attack. Something
Ronnie?
Peanut. His name was something Peanut. Mr. 5%.
Peanut.
No, Peanut.
Carmelo Anthony's a 5%er.
Like PENA.
Yeah, dude. His slogan was 5%. They called him Mr. 5%. I wonder if that would have some coalition to it. I don't know.
Carmelo
Okay,
Anthony a 5%er,
Rich
and I tell you
Pena.
this.
Rich,
When he started wearing his
Rich.
5%er chain, that's when the NBA stopped fucking with that nigga.
Pina colada.
Okay, y'all, but okay. Moving on, right? So we're gonna say, okay. So I want to connect the Dred Scott decision to move into the Jim Crow laws. You know what I'm saying? Because that's basically, the next set of wave that they had for after the Reconstruction and the New Era and all that. All down south and
For the ignorant niggas like myself that went to college for a little bit, could you reiterate what those Jim Crow laws is again?
Jim Crow's laws are where you were able to legally discriminate against a person's skin color and sex, and basically not grant to anyone of color.
Well, was it laws that were in place, or was it just the law of the land? Like that's
No,
just
it was
how
laws
people
in
acted?
place. It was legislation. It was legislation.
Okay.
There was also like different kind of black codes and other kind of codes, but definitely it was legislation.
So you mean to tell me there was a black man that was in the room writing these laws with them, and he agreed with everything they were saying?
Probably, but no, it wasn't any probably black men in the room writing those laws.
Oh, so there were no black men that wrote none of these laws. Just all
No,
white.
they made them prior to the black people showing up to actually have these rights.
Yeah.
No, we were here before. No, we were here before them.
I'm talking about we're talking about the north or the south or the whole country.
I don't give a fuck if you're talking about the north, south, east, or west. We were here first.
Sound like rules to control.
I'm talking about what these white people were on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was the Southern Democrats.
Yeah, like it doesn't matter what you feel.
It was the Democrats, but it was more the Southern because they basically lost their property and they were upset and they were shitty and they was mad and they wanted to be compensated, right? So the only way that they felt like, hey, you know what, we're gonna have no blacks and whites only, and they got some Congress people and some senators and everybody to go on and write legislation to say it was legal to do it, and it was from 1877 to 1960.
Yeah, I mean, think about it.
What stuck out to me about the Jim Crow thing, right? Because I listened to it on YouTube. I don't really read a lot of books, but I listen to audios. And one thing that stuck out to me was it seemed like it was a big push to push people into religion, into the Bible from the Jim Crow. Because I remember him saying something about when he was teaching the slave owners about stop beating on their slaves and shit. Because what happened was they was trying to instill fear in them. So I'm pretty sure y'all familiar with the stories when they would take the biggest slave and beat them down in front of everybody to instill fear in the smaller slaves. So when Jim Crow came, part of his speech was telling them to stop beating their slaves because that's your money. If you kill the big slaves, who's going to carry the logs? Who's going to carry the big pieces of metal? Who's going to do this? So he told them to stop beating the slaves for control and start controlling their minds. And so that if you control their minds, they will teach their kids the same mindset. And I think I'm a quote, he said, if you apply this right, you will be able to control these people for 1,000 years.
That's the Willie Lynch. That's Willie Lynch.
Lyndon B. Johnson also came out and said he'll have.
But you're quoting Mac. But Mac, you're quoting Willie Lynch.
I knew it was one of them motherfuckers.
But separating them by light skin versus dark skin, you'll control them for 1,000 years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's who that is. But I'm saying, but I agree with you to some extent. But I wouldn't really say religion because when the black people were was free, right? They sought out and had their own towns, their own cities. You know what I'm saying? They did their own thing. They was moving and grooving. You know what I mean? They were the builders. They were the locksmiths. They were the cooks. They was the housekeepers. They were the nannies. They was everything. So white people really wasn't working. They really didn't have no skills.
Didn't have to.
That's why that's the same reason why they formed a union. Because when they freed the slaves, all of them had the skills.
Because they didn't have no skills. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they didn't have to, but now there's a time that the people are free now, and you no longer have nobody to wipe your ass and get your kid and put the kid on your titty. You got to get up and do something. But
can I interject on that one though? So there's two parts to this. The average slave was expensive as fuck. The regular white person of the time couldn't afford one. That was a luxury to have a slave because not only can you have to have a slave, but you got to feed them, you got to clothe them, you have to house them. If you can barely do that yourself for your own family, for your own kids, you're not going to have a slave. You're not going to waste the money on it. It's going to be an unnecessary asset.
Well, here's the thing, Kurt. Or Sly Fox. God bless it. Anyways.
You owe some money.
I owe constant money, man. Yes.
My second point. Because of that, I'm gonna cut you off. Because of that, I'm gonna cut you off. My second point, though. My second point to that is just how many poor white people knew how to do the same jobs that slaves were doing. They were working alongside them in the fields too. It wasn't just slaves out there that were doing every job. You didn't have white people wiping your ass. You had slaves, obviously, but there was not as many unskilled white people as we're led to believe.
Okay,
that's cool, but
we'll grant that point. One second.
Go ahead.
I wanted to address what you're saying. Yes, it is expensive back in the day. Yes, but once you make that initial investment on enough to like start working on stuff, that's what they were so mad about in the South, is they had amples of free labor. They were making profit after profit after profit with no, they didn't have to pay any employees, didn't do nothing. All that, it was all ran.
It's not free labor though. You've got room and board, you've got house, you've got upkeep, you've got to keep them in check. You've got to pay people to keep them in check.
What house was they at? I mean, saying like you had a log, nigga, and some ground. Like it wasn't no house. Like they had a 3-bedroom with a 2-bath.
But still,
you couldn't have them sleeping outside with the elements, because then there could be no good to you.
Shacks.
You had to take care of yourself. Like you just said earlier, they had conditions. You still had to have like at least conditions where they're not sleeping outside. You have to take care of your workers. You have to take care of your workforce, or they're gonna be no fucking good to you.
Yeah, that doesn't play when you look
Guess
like
what?
China.
You forgot to mention though. They wasn't paying the motherfuckers like wages. They bought them for it was a one-time fee.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's an initial investment.
Yeah, so this is what made this is why they separated the North from the South, because the North was trying to help free the slaves and put them on minimum wage.
Yep.
And the South was like, I'm not paying these motherfuckers and I already own them. Hell no.
And to think about it too, a lot of the stuff that they needed, to think about all the stuff that they needed, food, housing, water, that all came from the plantation. They weren't exactly buying truckloads of food to bring them in, so it is
shit was cheap back then.
Shit, motherfucking hog mugs and pig feet and guts and butts and intestines. They wasn't giving them no prime rib or no motherfucking sirloin or no rib eyes or nothing. That was giving these people,
chitlins
and shit. That was getting gizzards and fatbacks and shit. They wasn't getting nothing delicate.
It's still upkeep though. That's my point, is that it's still upkeep. You still have to maintain these people to enough to where they can work every fucking day.
Not really, because they put out so many children. If one dies, you just replace it.
But you got to wait 10 years for that kid to be grown enough to pick up a goddamn rake.
I just don't see the argument.
No, they'll find.
I think they was buying motherfuckers for $5, $10.
But that was a lot back then.
Yeah,
that's the $5 is $500 now.
You try
that's
to
the equivalent
in today's money.
Yeah. I mean,
that's the equivalent. So our average white guy isn't walking around with $500 to just drop willy-nilly on a fucking slave. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mercedes Benz was $2,500 back then.
But listen, y'all, this is the point I'm trying to. But look, y'all, this is the point I'm trying to make. This is the point I'm trying to make. It's trying to parallel, right? So all I'm saying is when the slaves, because slaves were, free, right? They came into society, right? So they created their own little towns, the Rosewoods, the Tuslas, all the places, right? You know what I mean? All the places that they went to, it was up and thriving. They was doing their thing. They was chilling, right? So here come happen, and they get mobbed, and it get flooded, and it get burnt down, and it be some bullshit, and it be this, and it be that, and it's like boom. Okay, so why do y'all need to create laws when y'all already wanted us to be separate? You know what I'm saying? And we was doing our own thing. Why come and burn our shit down and tear our shit down when we already been in bondage? We already been giving y'all free labor. Like, we just trying to get on our own feet. Y'all gonna come in, like, burn our shit down, and then we can't come in y'all shit. Now y'all gonna create laws to say we can't do nothing.
Well, that goes back to what Mac Maul was talking about, as far as they wanted to bring their mentals down. So even if they were not slaves anymore, they still wanted to maintain that mental control over the people. So they kept doing what they did. I mean, that's the
look at Black Wall Street.
Someone was probably helping the slave masters. You know what I'm saying?
The Bible was helping them, because that's where the New Testament came from. Because the Old Testament told them that it was okay to let the slave masters whoop their ass.
Yep.
After them laws came, when he told them to control their motherfucking mind, they re-rocked that bitch and made them believe, have faith now. Now we ain't gotta beat your ass. This is what God wants you to do.
Yep. And that's the problem with books like the Bible and things like that, is they're very dangerous if you intend to misuse them. I mean, they're like the Book of Eli. That is based on that premise right there.
Well, it's dangerous if you believe in it too, because it puts
It's
you in the
not.
turn the other cheek mode.
No, it
I
doesn't.
ain't turning no other cheek. I'm gonna whoop your motherfucking ass.
Oh, we can debate this on
Second.
another day, though.
Second.
Yo. Give me a second. I want to get to a different point as far as, because it sounds like a lot of this shit that's unfair in the past. Do y'all think any of this shit is carrying over today as far as just shit being unjust altogether? Even though, I mean, because a lot of people say, you know, that racist shit is old, that shit is dead, there's no racism. Do y'all think niggas still get treated differently than other people? Do we see that today still, or what?
Hell yeah. I think they need to bring back racism and slavery. Honestly. They need to bring that shit back. I'm gonna tell you why. And I ain't even trying to be funny.
Let him cook.
I'm being dead ass serious. Think of how black people would be forced to stick together if they couldn't go in Jewels, if they couldn't go in Walmart, if they couldn't fuck with white people at all. We would be forced to stick together because we couldn't go nowhere else.
Facts.
I mean,
Yep.
that's not a terrible point, because if you got the community to a point where it had to rely on each other to really move forward, I'm not talking about slavery. I would not wish slavery on anybody. But the concept.
Why we gotta be in slavery to stick back together?
I don't mean the aspect of them buying us and shit like that.
Because there's people out here really not doing the establishment. That's the thing. That's not got that idea out. They don't have to have that slavery or that racism. You know what I mean? It's people out here really living, doing shit, not being a part of the establishment, that's really moving and grooving for the community, for people that want to, you know, not be on the establishment. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to have the. It's just some motherfuckers just want to be motherfucking silly, and some motherfuckers just want to be easy, and that's it.
But what I'm saying is this: if every other race got back races and say we not fucking with niggas at all, there would be no Chinese beauty supplies in our neighborhood. There wouldn't be no Arabian gas stations. There wouldn't be no white grocery stores. Huh?
This is the thing. I get that black people, we've had our luxuries now, and we all, you know, wooty boo, but we know the real. We can survive without it. We can get it out the mud. We can do it. Notice what I'm saying? We so, you know, like, because if I couldn't get this wig, I'm still gonna be fly. I'm gonna make it do what it do up under here, baby. I'm gonna make it do what it do.
But then why is the ghetto still the ghetto?
Yeah, that's my point.
Because we got excuses. We can rely on people. Like I said, if we couldn't go to Jewels, we couldn't go to Aldi's, we couldn't go to none of these grocery stores because they are white owned. You know what that'll do? That'll take us back to our roots. Motherfucker be digging up gardens and growing their own food and living longer because they'll be healthy. Instead of buying processed bullshit, they'll be growing food and going fishing and catching their protein.
So I want to make sure I get Mac Moss' point correct here. What you're saying is basically you're not in favor of anything that would cause segregation or any kind of racist behind it. What you're saying is it would be good if some of these things that are just taken for granted nowadays were removed, so you guys had to learn how to create again.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, because I mean, just think about it. I think black people are masters at getting themselves out of bullshit. Just think of how powerful and how strong you become when you got to lean on your own understanding and you can't be bailed out by nobody. Just think of like now if they do it in this time, it'll probably cause chaos. So for example,
you
cut off links
to do it. I just don't think niggas want to be forced to do nothing no more. Niggas,
no, hell no.
Niggas is damn near spoiled, man. Niggas
the average motherfucker don't even know how to dig a garden. If we went back to them times, motherfuckers would be out here robbing people because they don't know how to do shit.
He didn't say we tired. He say entitled.
Oh, entitled. Thank you.
Entitled. Black people are comfortable in this motherfucker. Too comfortable to rock the boat.
My bad, EK.
Just think, do the average motherfucker know how to start a fire without a lighter?
Hell no.
Do the average motherfucker know how to go fishing?
I just learned how 2 years ago.
Hell nope.
Do the average motherfucker know how to plant a garden?
Well, they can plant it, but they ain't gonna grow it.
They can do that.
We got to
grow it.
They ain't gonna plant it because they not gonna know how many motherfucking inches in the ground to plant the seeds for them to prosper right.
And they'll probably say, "I'm not a slave. Why am I planting the garden?"
See, my grandma, she taught me how, because she always had a garden around her house.
I got a garden right now. I got a garden in my backyard right motherfucking now.
Thumb now. We got some new people. We got some new people on here. I want to get some introductions. Who that is right there? Who we got right there? Big B.A. What up, though?
What's going on, family? How y'all doing?
Oh, we
What's the
good.
word, bro?
What up? What up?
I,
Man, just
I
checking in,
personally
y'all.
invited my guy, man. I personally invited my guy because he really wanted to jump on this topic because it hit real close to us, especially with him. And so, I mean, we've been talking about Dred Scott and stuff in the past, and basically how I mean, like you heard, everything's been kind of unjust. And so he wanted to chime in as far as what I mean, on his opinion on it. That's okay. You got any opinion on this, B?
Well, let's give him the
Yeah,
floor.
a lot of on the unjust. I'm in the belly of the beach right now. The way they treat us, man, it's a lot of things going on unjust, man. Like
Are you in the pen right
the
now?
way they treat us. I'm in right now. I'm in the max penitentiary, right? I'm in the hole actually.
Okay.
You in
Yeah,
jail right now?
Yeah, I knew that ceiling.
Yeah.
I never had the luxury.
Me neither. I just worked with a bunch of cons, but yeah, let's see what he's
We
talking
got a
about.
nigga in jail on the live. That's what I'm talking about,
At
man.
least let you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
He must be
I
plugged.
can't
He
flip
get to
my
go
camera. I
live.
can't flip my camera around. Oh yeah, we
I'm
in
guessing he
here.
doesn't
Can you
have
see them
very good
bars?
coverage in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
Thank you for being
Yeah.
on, though.
Hey, thanks for coming on tonight, man. Let's hear what you got to say.
Yeah, man.
That's
Hey,
Appreciate
big business.
appreciate y'all for having me, man.
That's big
No
money
doubt.
right there.
you.
They
Appreciate
lose
it.
us in here, man. They keep us away from our families, man. It's so hard to even stay in connection with your family. Even when you use that's why I got a cell phone, because if it wasn't for my cell phone, I wouldn't even be able to talk to my kids. I was forced in a situation really where I was innocent and I was given all day over just being in the house with some cocaine. You know what I mean? Wasn't even mine, honestly, really wasn't mine. They gave me 30 years behind it. I've been gone 10. You know what I mean? I've been in this hole right now 6 months. I got caught the other day trying to get a tuna and a meat. They gave me a six just for trying to eat. Dinner's over at 2:30. That feed soy. I don't know if you're familiar with soy, but the conditions is just harsh. It's a shower every 3 days. Uh, Rats, you know what I mean? Mice, you know what I mean? It's roaches. It's a gang of stuff going on. 500.
Hold
That's
on.
what we
So
say.
you on a 30-year sentence right now?
Right now, yeah. Yeah, we say 500 when the police walking. That's why you heard me say that. Like when they walk past, we get on 500 to let everybody know where they at. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm on 30-year sentence right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm an actual father. You know what I mean? Didn't even deserve this time or nothing. So I know.
Oh shit, we lost him.
Yeah, he's inside of a prison. It's hard.
Yeah, he in the cell, goddamn. Ain't no motherfucking reception in that motherfucker.
No, that's all
See
steel and concrete.
see him right there. That leads me to my point. So he's doing a 30-year sentence for cocaine. Now we can backtrack this to the exact reason why the black person in America is kept down. Those sentences that are 10, 20, 30-year mandatory sentences started in the 90s. Joe
I'm back.
Biden's crime bill.
Yep. 1996 to be exact.
Oh yeah, man. That
The
crime that was
three-strike law.
Yep.
3 strike law. They not, but look, I've only been locked up for marijuana my whole life. I've never did more than 18 months. As soon as I get in a home around some cocaine, they decided to give me 30 years because I wouldn't tell. There was no evidence against me, no audio, visual, no marked money, nothing. And they still
What
and the
state you
homeboys of
in?
mine. I'm in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Dang.
You
Yeah,
say
they
you're the
don't be playing.
My brother
I'm in
just
a
came
super max.
home for doing 30 years. He got locked up in 92. He just came home in 2019.
Man, salutes to him, man. You gotta be strong to deal with this. I done seen so many murders in here. I done seen people overdosing. That's what the prison is. It's not even built to correct people no more. They don't even offer programs.
That's what I've
Only
been
thing they
saying.
offer here is drugs. Like people in here, like that's all they do is drugs all day. You can't get a positive conversation. You know, like I took every program here. You know what I mean? I'm one of the prisoners who actually, I'm trying to let my old me die and the new one grow. You know what I mean? So I try to just, that's where I find my strength at. You know what I mean? Working out, staying positive. You know what I mean? Being in my kids' life. You know, some of us don't break. We really want to try to be better. You feel me? And it's just sad. You know what I mean? Like
Well, I
sad.
remember
Like
something before my buddy passed away. One of the big complaints that he had, and I mean, tons of complaints from prison. I work with some ex-cons. He was saying that they don't even do the basic shit right. Like he was on antipsychotic meds, he was on things like that, and he would go to the med line. He wouldn't even be able to get his meds like 3 out of 4 or 3 out of 5 days, during the week or something like that. He came out every single time he went in. He was at a certain mental state, and when he came out, that mental state had worsened purely because they just weren't treating him, psychiatrically. Like they're just letting things go that make people worse when they come outside. So it's a revolving door. They're not going to get better if you don't treat them like humans.
Man, they can still treat you good and you still gonna go fucking crazy if you ain't got a strong mind. Lock yourself in a motherfucking closet for a week and see what happens. Have your girl bring you water, food, shower, all that, but stay in the closet and see how the fuck you gonna get by the next Sunday.
Yeah,
hey,
solitaire
you
is a
only get
hoe.
a shower. My fault. Excuse me. You only get a shower once every 3 days. Like I said, dinner's over at 2:30 p.m. The food
Damn.
is nothing. It's built. You can't have lotion in here. You can't have hair grease. Like they don't give us
What
haircuts.
you have for
Like
dinner tonight,
I
cuz?
groom
What you have for
myself
dinner
with like
tonight, B?
the comb and the razor, but I ain't even been doing that. I just been I don't see nobody. You know what I
Beans,
mean?
what
So
you have for
it's
different what you
like
have for dinner tonight,
it's
BA?
crazy. Like even if I was to chew on a peppermint and choke in here, it's nobody around to even help me. The police when they do walk, they don't care about what we do. If I had a blunt right now, I could spark it. They ain't gonna say nothing to me. They don't care. They want us to kill ourselves in here. It's crazy, man. You know what I mean? Just I see
They should
people go crazy all the time in here.
shit. You got it, man. Though a weak-minded person got to do some drugs to
Um,
stay sane in that motherfucker.
hey, Mr. BA, I had a question. So would you
Yes,
say,
ma'am.
did you have an attorney on your case?
Yes, ma'am.
So do you think that the prosecutor or like the judge or like the way they looked at your like background or like how did they look at like maybe previous charges that you had that made them feel like you know what I'm saying, like didn't fight for less time? Did they offer you a plea agreement? Like I'm not trying to get too personal, but I'm just saying
No,
like
you fine. You fine. You fine. You fine.
because we're
Uh,
talking about injustices in the system, you know what I'm saying? And I understand prison is definitely is definitely not the place to be, you know what I'm saying? And
right.
they're not
Yeah.
meant to rehabilitate, they're meant to just house you, you know what I mean, and
Right.
get work
Right.
out of
Right.
you, you know what I'm saying? So like do you feel like just the judiciary part of like your case and like just the whole, you know, everything in that, do you think that that was like not on the up and up, or do you think
I definitely think it wasn't on the up and up just for the simple fact, like I stated before, I've only been incarcerated. I've never had a DUI, a battery. I'm not a violent criminal. I've only been locked up for marijuana my whole life. I've never did more than 18 months. And then you catch me in a home that's not my home, and it was cocaine in there. It was two other people in there. And you give me 30 years, like you say, because of past cases, because of marijuana. You know what I mean? So that still doesn't qualify for a 30-year sentence.
Hell no, my
have you
brother
tried
goddamn had a
have you
triple
tried
How much coke
homicide.
was it though?
have you tried? Yeah, that's it. I mean, yeah, like was it a lot because 30, that's a
I'm
No,
only
it wasn't even a lot. It's like they gave Big Meech, I don't know if you're familiar, they gave him 30 years. He had 1,500 keys a month, and
yeah.
he got 30 years.
Let
Well,
me
you
ask,
only
Coke
really need a
actually was not
kilo.
lying.
let me ask you a
Hmm?
You
quick
only really
question.
need a kilo to get 30 years. Anything
On
more than
the
Right.
that's why traffickers don't give a fuck how much weight they take, because anything over X amount is 30 years period anyway. So it's like you may as well
Right.
take 10,000 kilos with you. Doesn't
Right,
matter.
right, right.
Same
Unless you go
sentence.
federal, certain amounts
Unless
you
you
Man,
go
go
to
federal,
federal.
yeah.
my brother had a
Right.
triple homicide and he actually got 50 years, but he had to do 30 straight.
Right.
Yeah, you get
And
more
that's a
time for
triple
selling dope than
homicide.
murder.
Right. Yes.
That's
so.
true.
Yeah, man,
Yes.
that
Right.
sounds like a damn witch hunt.
So have you tried to get a modification, BA?
Not yet. I'm actually in my PCR stage. I go to court actually January, but the problem with the representation is lawyers take your money. Like I'm incarcerated, so $15,000 to me is $1 million.
I totally
So,
understand. Get that. Go ahead. I'm
huh?
sorry. No, I
No,
get
you
that.
fine. And so it's like lawyers can take your money and they basically tell you anything, and they not doing no work. Like it's hard for me to even get in contact with my lawyer. Like for me to even call him, it takes him all day to respond. His name is Jonathan Harwell. He is like
Mr. Hartwell,
terrible,
answer the phone, Mr. Hartwell.
Yeah, they know
man.
they have no
I think me
consequences.
personally, I think jail make men out of motherfuckers.
Yeah,
Mm,
it do it.
Some of these niggas go to jail and they come back. Just listen to how this nigga talk. He got manners. He's saying excuse me. He's saying yes, ma'am.
well,
You don't
that's
hear
true.
that shit from niggas before they
I
go
mean,
to jail.
but he might have had that
Nope.
before he went, man.
Yeah,
You're
I
saying
definitely
that
had
when
that.
What I'm
I had
Jordan
that
saying,
was
what I'm
bad.
before. I had it before.
what I'm
Still
saying
doing
is
it.
not just pointing him out. I'm saying I know a lot of men that went to jail, to
Mm-hmm.
prison. And when they
Mm-hmm.
get out of prison, they usually find God, they find Islam, they find
Mm-hmm.
Christianity.
Yep.
They got them and know how to read, they graduate, they got manners. Because see, the thing about it is with jail, you can't run wild in jail like on the street. It's still order in that motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you go in
Politics.
jail flying off at the mouth, a motherfucker gonna handle you. So they teach you how to be a man and how to control your emotions. If
Yeah.
you do enough time in jail, you definitely gonna come out a better person.
Right, but it's a plus and it's a negative with that because like where I'm at, I'm around people that got 300 years. Like my neighbor, he got 300 something years. He ain't going nowhere. My guy
Jesus.
over here, he got like 140. So their time cut is they want to die. So it causes a behavior to where they lash out, they do anything. So it's a lot. It's definitely a lot of violence in here.
It's nothing to
A lot
live
of
for.
violence.
It's
Like it's a
nothing
Yeah,
to
lot of
live for.
murders. Like
I had a motherfucking homie that got a life sentence, right?
mhm,
At 19 years old.
mhm,
And he went in with that mind state, like my life over, fuck this shit. And he started going
mhm,
in there. He actually was starting fights and shit. They put him in a hole a few times, and like 7 years into his sentence, he wind up killing the motherfucker in there, right?
yeah,
And then
yeah.
they gave him another life sentence. But he did all that because he felt like his life was over.
Mhm.
Well, 20 years into his sentence, they overturned the first case. He could have got out if he hadn't crashed out.
Wow. That's that bullshit
Yeah,
though.
you
Yeah.
That's that bullshit.
definitely
That's like
gotta
what
be
police
patient. Like I
say.
say, I try to keep my higher power, my guide, and I keep my kids first. Like that's what keeps me going. Like even in this situation right now, like I said, I'm in the hole. My head never falls. It never gets low. You know what I mean? I don't want my crown to fall out, so I always got my head up.
Word.
I'm very polite to the staff. I'm very even polite to the inmates. But I always been what you call a player. I always been laid back. You know what I mean? And I don't want no smoke. I actually want to go home. Ain't nothing in here worth me killing nobody over,
No,
unless you
sir.
just really coming at me like on some violence and I have to protect myself. But like even having this phone, somebody might want to do something for me just by having a phone, or I always got a white T-shirt on. You know what I mean? It's the level of pettiness and the level and just the mindset in here is just crazy. But like even about the judicial system, like I was like y'all was saying, it is it's not they don't even need a lot of evidence to give you all day. Like when I watch Law and Order or different things like that, it seems like they going through the right process, and here they don't. They were like the dope really was not mine. So how can you give me all this time and you have no evidence saying that I never sold to nobody, I never possessed it? So I'm not understanding how I got the 30 years. I'm
Is
like even in my piece.
Is Indiana a red state?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
Absolutely.
why.
Well, let me ask a question real quick too. The other two cats that were in the home with you, did they serve?
No, one of them beat it. One of them actually beat it. He had marijuana on him,
See, that's
on his
suspect to
person,
me.
and he beat it. But this is one thing about when you go to trial, you get transcripts, and I can't necessarily say he told. My other co-defendant, who dope it actually was, he's free right now,
Oh,
and he
see that
had
there.
Oh yeah, they told.
Yeah, we got a
They
no, he
problem with
told.
didn't.
They
that.
He
cut a
didn't.
sweetheart deal.
No, we all went to trial together, and if it's any private, if it's any private meetings that happen, it comes forward. Like say if somebody's in the
It's called a
interrogation room or something,
dissertation.
right? If that happens, then it's recorded, and we're able to see that. You
Some
Yeah,
know
of
what I
them
when
ain't
mean?
private.
your lawyer asks for a dissertation, that means that everybody that made statements against you got to show you. They got to stand up in your face and tell on you.
Correct. Right. Right. And so the guys, like I could have got up on stand and been like, okay, it wasn't my dope, it was his dope. I could have said that to who's, but it's not up to me to tell you whose dope it is. You're supposed to do your job. This man had cocaine on him. He's been locked up, and he had beat 3 prior murders before this. I'm not even a violent criminal.
Mr. BA,
Yes, ma'am.
I know this is in hindsight and past tense, and hopefully you don't ever have to go through this experience again.
Mhm.
But if ever you in that situation, it's always best to take a bench trial, because if you're honestly innocent, I can tell what happened. I'm going to speak about it. If I had nothing, and it's not Shemiski, Snatsky babies, I'm going to get on that bench and I'm going to say something, and I'm going to just tell about that night, and that's it. You know what I'm
You
saying?
know, a bench
You know,
trial is just one motherfucker. The judge
I
And the
know,
decides your
judge.
fate.
I know. That's the
I
whole point.
would rather 12 people, because if one disagreed,
I
then
mean,
we got to start this shit over.
I'm saying he doesn't have a background. He's a
No,
non-violent.
I got a background.
No,
I got a background.
you said you're not non-violent. It's marijuana. That's really minute. I'm just saying that's small. I'm saying that's just like super weight. You know what I'm saying? Like super heavyweight, tons. You know what I'm saying?
No, it wasn't tons, but
That's what I'm saying. So
right,
if
right.
he didn't have a,
But
if he
he in
don't,
a red state though, baby.
I mean, but
So a
still, but if he don't,
motherfucking bag of weed weighs the
but listen,
same
let
as
me
a
tell you something.
pound.
No,
Shit.
it's not what you know, it's who you know, right? And it's about that background, and it's about that
Mhm.
bankroll. So if you don't have a background, and you know the right lawyer, and and he knows the right judge, and you got the bankroll, baby, you're talking to one, me right here. I'm live in person right
Yeah,
here.
but he had none of that. Is the
That's what I'm
point?
saying. But no, that's what I'm saying. But he said he doesn't have he has a no violent crime, so he just has marijuana.
Right, but he's in a red state though, baby. They judge different. I
Yeah, it doesn't.
got
Yeah.
5 gun cases. I'm on papers right now for a gun,
I
and
caught
I
my
still don't got no
case in the red
felonies.
state. I caught my
I
Chicago,
still don't got
son.
no felonies.
Chicago
Yeah,
DA's son.
under an ounce in Indiana is determined as a misdemeanor, but I think anything above an ounce turns into a felony.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
but
over. It was over an ounce. It was over.
Yeah,
It was. I've been caught prior situations with I, what you would call, I guess, weight if it's like over 20 pounds or something like that. But that still doesn't constitute 30 years. Still,
No, it don't.
But
no,
Hell
that's
I was
still
just
no.
still,
talking to Mac. I
trafficking.
was just talking to Mac
Having
Hall
that
so
much
far.
having that much weight of weed as your history gives you the
right,
context of being a trafficker, which is why even catching with blow is why they're going to give you 30 years. That's why they did that, because the previous context is
right,
trafficable weight, and that's why they
right,
did that. They
Yeah,
shouldn't
but
have
right,
did that,
see here
but they did.
they'll
right,
give you
right.
felony probation here.
They don't even
And
arrest you for murder in
blue
Chicago,
states are very more lenient than red states.
which is
Right.
why the blue cities are all fucked up.
Exactly.
Outlaw
Because
Central.
I'm telling you right now, I've been caught 5 times with guns, and I still don't have a felony on my record. I'm on papers right now for a gun. I just copped out 2 months ago. They gave me felony probation. So for 2 years. So if I don't catch another case within 2 years, that felony come off my record.
Man, that's a
I'd rather be
blessing,
caught
man.
with it than without it.
that's
You said
beautiful.
what?
I'd rather be caught with it than without it. That's the rule in Chicago.
Hell yeah, you
Yeah,
absolutely right. I'd rather go to hell than go to jail than go to hell. I ain't gonna lie
I
to
don't
you.
want to.
Yes,
I
sir.
don't want to. Man, listen. I promise you, this right here, this prayer. I don't miss my baby's whole life. I don't miss so much stuff that ain't no amount of money. It ain't nothing. I don't want to see another gun. I don't want to see another nothing. Like when I say I'm done, like I'm totally done. And it's people in this stream that know me. I've been in the streets. I ain't gonna say I'm perfect, but I ain't never done nothing to deserve 30 years. You know what I mean? Just period. And my judge passed away, and she had went to high school. She was a couple years older than me and went to high school. See, I didn't know any of this, but she was very. She didn't like me for some reason, and I don't know what that was about. But just the way that she talked to me and the way that she treated me, it was like it wasn't fair. You know
She
what I
should
But
have
see,
mean?
Yeah.
now that the judge is dead, and you're almost a third of the way through your sentence. Once you hit 15 years, you can go back and revisit your trial and say, hey, the judge is gone. They already had a history with me already. Can we revisit my case? I clearly know what I did was wrong. This is not where I want to fucking be. Do you have that opportunity when you hit 15 years, or did it say 30
Uh,
is 30 mandatory?
do a
we're
mod.
not. Yeah, I can put a mod, but you only get 2 modifications
You get
under
two,
the new
yeah.
law. Now I've took every program here, but they don't give us time cuts because of my time. So it comes off of like of the back. But at the same token, um, I have a third of my time in now. So I have my PCR hearing, which is a post conviction relief. I have that in January. Like I said, my lawyer's a piece of trash. So my plan is to go in there, have that. I'm probably gonna lose, and then hire a modification lawyer and go in there like, okay, I've done all these programs, and I got
So
a third of time in.
So
Go
BA,
ahead.
send your lawyer a letter to cease and desist and tell him that you don't want to retain him anymore, and tell he was insufficient counsel and you want to retain all your money back. You know what I'm saying? You can get that letter and send that
No,
to me.
that's not. No, the reason that's not gonna happen is because I've been in my PCR
Oh,
6 years. I've been in my PCR already 6 years waiting for him because he was fine.
damn. 6?
Yeah, 6 years. I've been
Oh,
waiting.
So you've been locked up past the pandemic.
yeah, that's
I never said
ineffective counsel.
when y'all wore a mask, it was so weird to me. Like when I seen all that stuff, like it was weird. Yeah, I definitely been gone. I missed the whole pandemic. I missed a
You
lot of
didn't
stuff.
miss nothing.
You
That shit was
missed
weird
you
to us
missed the
too.
greatest time we ever had, the PPP
Yeah,
loans.
PPP loan. I missed. I missed
We all got rich
Hey,
off
crazy
them.
right there. Hey, I seen a lot of
Hey,
money getting thrown
everybody was
around.
getting rich
hey,
off of that.
everybody I know
Everybody.
got rich off the
Yeah,
PPP loans.
yeah,
Goddamn.
yeah. I know
But
a lot of people who got
they
money too
coming
off
to
the
get
PP.
them. They coming to get them
But
though.
but BA, I want to ask you a question though, because we're gonna transition
Yes,
to this next question, right?
yes,
So
ma'am.
I don't know if you watch the news or if you hear, this about this 17-year-old guy named Jesse Matt Butler, right? He has a grape case out of Oklahoma. He essayed 2 girls and recorded it and almost strangled one to death. The doctor said if she would have been strangled for like 30 seconds more, she would have died. And his father was an operations manager at the Oklahoma State University. And his mom, I guess, knew the judge, so-called. So what do you feel about, I don't know if you know about it, but he was supposed to get like 70 to 80 years. He only ended up getting 150 hours of community service, and he doesn't have to register as a sex offender. How does that make you feel?
Makes me feel like a slap in the face
Also,
because it's.
before I just wanted to
Go
add
ahead.
this to the statement real quick. He's also the son of the
Oh yeah,
baseball coach for Oklahoma University.
Oh,
yeah.
So
that says
he
enough right
lives,
there.
yeah, he lives in the South. He's part of that SEC money, train. So it to me, it just looks purely what it is.
Yeah,
Right.
life
Yeah.
is about who you know, not what you know.
Yeah. And it's
Well, you said
500.
you said
I'm
he was a
sorry.
college student.
No, he's a high school student.
Oh,
My
high
bad.
school student.
Yeah, he's high school. He's
Hey,
17. And they initially
Hey,
charged him as an adult, right? And then after the initial hearing, they told him as a youthful offender.
hey, whatever happened to that black boy that stabbed them white brothers at the school?
You talking
At
about
Carmelo,
Carmelo
Texas.
Anthony?
I think he's
Yeah,
free.
he free.
I believe
They're
so.
still going to trial, but they didn't say he was guilty or innocent yet. They're
Isn't
still
it
Yeah,
going to
crazy how
trial.
Diddy's case was so fast and these cases
man,
last so
man,
long?
I ain't
it's
gonna lie
because
to
he
you.
has money. Diddy should
When
have
I
gone
hear,
down for
yeah,
way
Diddy didn't
more.
want that case to
yeah.
go that fast. He
Whenever
wanted to be
somebody
free. What the
rapes
fuck you
He got
mean?
2
women,
years.
I'm
I'm
not a
talking
fan
about how
of
fast they gave him
like
the
you. Of
time. That
course, you know
nigga
where
went
I'm
to
at
court
for
and
child
then got time
molestation,
and is damn near
rape.
served his time.
Like you,
These
like the
cases have been
bottom of
going
the
on for
barrel.
years.
You know what I
I see your
mean?
point.
Like so, the way
Money.
I feel like. Yeah, even money, like, but when you come in here, we definitely gonna make time hard for you. I got kids, I got a daughter, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not cool with no child molesters. I don't care. Forgiveness is not up to me, it's up between you and God. You know what I mean? I feel like, and you know what's crazy? They treat child molesters in here like model citizens because they so quiet. They don't want people to know, you know what I mean, that they touch kids. Like, it's people in here with the weirdest cases that don't have no time. I'm talking about, I don't even want to get into it because it's too graphic, but it's it's weird, but you give me all day. It makes no sense. I've never heard nobody. I open the door for ladies. Like, what? Like, I'm a father. I take my kids to school every single day. But you catch me in the house because of prior and I get my whole life took. Like, I'm 40, I'm 42.
What do
That's
I
a
think
life sentence.
What do you think about the families though? The girls that almost died. Like you telling me this girl had to get her trach, like she had to get like a little trach for a little
They
bit.
even
That's how.
they mistaken. They had her on
She
tape,
gonna have
right?
that for the
They
rest of
had
her
that.
Yeah,
They
life. And he
had
gonna
this
do
nigga on
4 years
tape
and,
choking
and,
the
and get
girl
out
out.
just
he
because he
don't got
got
no
money.
years. No, he don't have no years. He got 150 hours of community service. He got no jail time. None. He got
That's
not one nothing, and he doesn't have to register as a sex offender.
mm-mm. Yeah, that's what I
Wow,
was saying.
that's
Being part of that SEC school and the money that comes from there, it was
I
an
would,
open and
I
shut
would,
case.
they would have to put me down. I would have to. I'll be stomping at every
Can you
senator's
pull a
governor.
picture up of him, P? Can we
It'd be
get a
like a
picture?
time
P?
to kill.
Can we
yeah.
get a
That
picture
makes
of him, P?
me want to pull a John Q stunt.
Yeah, that.
You know what I mean? When I go, you
Yeah,
know what I mean? When I
that movie Time to Kill was backwards though.
What do you mean?
Samuel Jackson's character was white, and the guys on the stands were actually black. It was a swapped movie, which really sucks because it was a great fucking movie.
Well, no,
Yeah,
But the
it
true
was.
story was the opposite.
the point
I
of the
never
movie.
knew that. I never knew that.
I didn't
Well,
either. I didn't know that till like a year ago. But I've always
Yes,
liked the
that
movie. It's a great
deserve to
fucking movie.
die, and I
Right,
hope they
it's
burn
They
in
burned in
hell.
hell.
I'm gonna have
That's
one
my
second,
favorite
guys.
movie. That's one of my favorite movies. I
Okay.
never know that until today. Bye.
Miss Skybree, was you saying that you're a lawyer?
No, I'm a paralegal. I'm about to go to law school. No, I'm not a legal. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer. I'm a
Oh, okay,
paralegal.
okay.
I'm not a lawyer.
Apparently, you know, okay.
You a
What you was?
paralegal, huh? You single?
He said you single. He said on everything. I was gonna ask her about you
Sorry,
say
this is
about
the only pic I could find of him. He's smiling. My bad. But it shows the lady or the girl in the other picture, though. You can see the wrap around her neck from the trach and all that kind of shit.
I see it,
She got to
and
get
that's
a trait.
heartbreaking.
You know what I mean? Like she had
That's
to get
crazy.
a trait. And his mom, but listen, y'all, the mama was that when he did the strangle the girl, the mama came to his door and was like knocked on the door, and she went in and she asked him, "Is everything okay?" And you only went to the room because the girl was yelling. Like you heard the yelling, you know what I'm saying? Like you know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Like you a mother, you a woman. Like your son in here, like really just, and that he recorded. That's sadistic as hell. Like
Well, you got to.
But you know what though? As much as we hate how shit be going, when obviously white people get
Privilege.
more lighter sentences or get a slap on the back for certain crimes. Just think of it this way: if we switched the roles and black people ran this motherfucker instead of white people, don't you think we'll be having that same? I mean, it's only natural to look out for your own people.
but it's not even
Nah,
that.
I don't
No.
think
Black people got
so
too much empathy
because
for that shit, Ma.
blacks
You
is
know
almost
that.
one
No,
of the
it's
weakest
not
races.
empathy.
That's our
I'm just
problem.
if we was running the world and one of our black motherfuckers came into court, we gonna do the same shit white people do.
No, listen, let me say something about that, Mac. Let me speak on that real quick.
Because absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Right. That's the first thing. Thanks to
I'm
Human
not
nature.
saying it's right, but
No,
what I'm saying is it will happen.
this the thing. I got into it with my legal research and writing teacher because he was Harvard graduate and stuff, and he was telling me like about doing favors. And I was like, nah, whatever. But what I'm saying is like you should to me, I'm trying to be a judge one day. In our actuality, right? So I feel like you should always take the most lenient position first. You should never go to the max first, unless it's to the max behavior. But in rehabilitation, you should go from the least, most, strict restrictive action that you can give a person, because you gotta, you know what I mean. It's their first mistake. You should not go for the gusto, and they go for the gusto. You know what I'm saying? Like you should just be fair and be realistic with people. Like we all mess up, we all did some shit. So for you to go for the juggler first, I think that's atrocious, that's fucked up, that's crazy, and you need to be looked into if you always go to the max first and never try to rehabilitate a person.
But how else will people learn if we don't throw the book at them and make an example of people?
I mean,
That's
not
what
the first
not
that's
even
where we're
that.
at with the status quo right
It's
now.
not
That's
even
where we're at
that.
with the status quo.
So everybody's got to remember too that the prison system and the criminal justice system is not a justice system. It is a profit system.
Right.
So when you get these people in court, whether it happens or not, they're just looking for money. So when they see a poor person that doesn't have any money, the only way to make money off that poor person is to put them in jail. When they see a rich person, they can earn a lot more money than putting him in jail by just wiping the case, because these people
Shit,
have
I
the
would
money
have
to pay in.
paid.
Right. But that's what I'm saying with that
the same-
baseball kid or whatever. I mean, his family being connected with all that, they've got millions and millions of dollars. They can pay his way
different.
out.
Right.
They're going to get their money anyways.
Yeah, and they can pay for appeals, top lot. Yeah, I understand.
What? Not only that, is also favors. It's like, okay, just check this out. Just say I go to Yale College, right?
Mhm.
If I'm in Yale and I'm studying to be a paralegal or any good position in life, right? Most of the people that I know that go to Yale are gonna be important people when we all grow up. So now I'm a lawyer. My homeboy I went to Yale with is the judge. My other homeboy is the district attorney. We all tied in.
And we
So
all
it-
Q dogs too.
Right. So you see what I'm saying? So what I'll do is I get me a rich motherfucker. A motherfucker got some money who didn't call the case. I tell him, okay, you give me 700,000, I'll beat this case. What I'm gonna do is take that 700,000, I'm gonna peel my homie, the
I'm split
judge,
it
off
up.
with
Yeah.
200,000, and we
Yeah.
gonna work your ass like a motherfucking video
What's
game.
up, bro?
Yep, that was my exact point. When
And
you
guess
got the
what?
money,
And
you
look,
can
guess what,
bypass
Mac?
the system.
And guess what, Mac? That's why I'm going to be on the Judiciary Committee, because I'm going to be on the Ethics Committee so I can clean some shit up, because that's what they doing. And that's what they do. And that's the fucking problem. And that's what the fuck they do. And that's why my teacher got into it that day in class, and he tried to, like, basically tell me, oh, I'm just the help, basically, I'm a paralegal, but I'm the best at what I do. But guess what? When I get that JD and I get that black robe, I'm going to wipe their ass down, because quit doing that shit. Like, stop
Yeah,
it.
I feel you, man.
Doing
But this is what rich people do.
Hey,
And
guess
and
what?
I learned this from Andrew Tate. I don't know if y'all know who Andrew Tate is.
I
Yeah,
do.
red pill.
Can't stand that
Okay,
motherfucker.
so Andrew Tate said something like this that made a lot of sense. Once you get to the point where you have everything in the world that you need, there's nothing else to buy except for power and people.
I don't want
That
power.
makes sense.
Yeah, I can vibe with that.
That
I
makes
don't want
sense.
power.
If you got a big house, big cars, jets,
That's why you want to be a
trips,
judge. It's
all
your
that
power.
shit.
I don't know. Hold on. Wait. No. I want to be a
Hold up.
judge because I want to be a mediator. I want to be a judge because I want to be a mediator. I don't want to rule shit. I want to be a fair mediator.
No, I ain't say rude, but that's still a form of power.
No. I want to be
You
a
don't think
mediator.
so?
I want to be the mediator, the median between the problem. I don't want to be over the power.
Who's to say?
Problem.
That's
Who's
not a
to say
judge's
that those
job.
You know
other
what,
people
though?
didn't say the same thing, so somebody hit them with 700,000.
Yeah, but so the judge's job
Money
is to
corrupts.
judge
In
the case, not
cash.
mediate.
I'm not
Untraceable,
saying,
untaxed.
I'm not trying to say. I mean, I love you to death. I'm not trying to shit on you, but who's to say that everybody got a price in my book? Everybody got a price.
But I mean, I disagree. I mean, I do. I mean, I think it's about their integrity. I think it's about what they're doing it for. Because listen, I could be working as a paralegal making 100,000 right now, but I choose to work where I work because I like what I'm doing and I need a break. But I'm going to go back a beast when I get my paperwork because I've put enough in as a paralegal. So what I'm saying is the reason why I'm trying to be an attorney, why I'm going to be one, is because I'm trying to help my community. Like I'm trying to be the poor people representative. I'm not trying to be Sheminsky at the law firm up on the top.
But you know what though? You know what's so ironic about that?
That's not my.
What's so ironic?
What state is she? What state are you in, Miss Bree? Or Miss Sky, baby?
I'm in Indianapolis. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be the paid lawyer on Wall Street. I'm trying to be for the people, to help people. I'm not about trying to get the corner office because I know.
But that takes money to do that.
What's so ironic about that though
Hold on, y'all. Y'all don't hold on. Give me a second. Don't you got a brother too? Tell her about your brother.
Yeah, I got a brother. My brother been in prison for 25 years. You know what I mean, for murder. So we've been doing this shit. We working on this case.
Oh, he's in here with me probably.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I've been doing this. I've been on this shit. I've been fighting the criminal justice system. I was barred from the prison because they said I was doing this, I was doing that, blah blah blah. I never had nothing. Had to go fight the shit, but couldn't fight the shit because my brother in the prison. So if I'm start pulling phone calls and
they gonna fuck with him,
right? So I had to fucking just stay gate locked for fucking a decade. Okay, so been there, done that. Got a t-shirt and a hat.
But you know what though? It's
and
ironic because they will let women, they will let righteous women in places of power. They will never let a righteous man in places of power.
Well, they need the image.
Yeah, DEI.
It's all about numbers. It's all about numbers too.
Yeah, because they feel. I feel like this: a woman can always be controlled. A man who on the right path won't. He can't be controlled.
Period. Period.
That's why I'm
be
single.
comfortable.
I'm single because I can't. I'm single because I can't be controlled. If you ain't God, you ain't controlling me. If you my husband, you might have a little tad bit of control. But no,
okay,
baby,
okay. This ain't that. Hold on.
But a woman's main dream is to be. A woman's main dream is to find a man and be a happy, had a white picket fence. A man's main dream is to be rich and powerful. So even us as inmates, we look at women as like not weaker, but like
weaker. You just don't want to say it. Weaker.
More. It's easier to access whatever we trying to get handled. You know what I mean?
One thing about a woman is whoever fucking her controls her mind, and this is why Kamala or whatever the fuck her name is didn't win the presidency seat.
I totally
yes, sir.
Because guess what?
Hold on. I agree with you, Ma, but we not doing that
And
tonight.
my judge was a woman.
We're not
What?
doing that tonight. Hold on.
I can't hear him.
You about to
Ski,
open up a
Ski.
can of worms. What?
Yeah, I'm about to say, I already know Ski gonna have y'all going crazy on here. I'm not
It was
doing
about
that.
to come out.
My
Well, let's get
judge
this
actually,
show
my
back on
judge
track.
actually was a woman. My judge was a black woman, Shatrice Flowers.
And my best and one of my road dogs is Tanya Pratt. You
Name
feel me?
sound familiar.
Oh yeah, Tanya Pratt. Yeah, I know
it's my
about Tanya
dog.
Pratt.
So yeah, but okay, we're gonna move on from this. Okay, so we're gonna tie in the Epstein similarities to Malachi York. Who know Malachi York? Anybody know Malachi York?
Hey, can I answer my son? I need to answer my son's phone call. I'll get back in here.
All right.
So yeah, explain Malachi York.
I heard somebody rap about him. I think Joel Santana. I never knew who the fuck he was though.
So Malachi York is a black man who was into all kind of different religions. He was like a high priest.
He was a doctor too, right?
He was a doctor. Yes, he was a psychiatrist. I mean, psychiatrist.
Hey, Matt.
And he just was in tune, and he was into the Bible, into the Quran, into all different type of religions and stuff like that. Well, he said that the best way for black person to go back to Egypt or whatever, right? So he bought 400 acres in like outside of Macon, Georgia. It's like a little town outside of Macon, Georgia, or whatever. And he created basically the pyramids again, the Nile River, like the whole ordain, right? And he had like general councils, he had like his foremen, he had like all kind of guardsmen. He just had the whole doodad. If you just look at Egypt and the whole, coming to or whatever, right? So basically, Malachi York has always wrote about like different like quantum physics and like spirituality and different kind of levels of transcending and ascending and all that kind of stuff. Basically, saying that we can do it, and that's what we do. We can do if we type it to our pineal gland and stuff like that. Anyway, make a long story short, Malachi York, I guess, started like becoming people was moving there to Atlanta and moving to the little place and coming to his place and populating and shit like that. He had his own little town out there or whatever. So I guess the people out there where he was living at didn't like the whole militant idea of them being out there. So they said that he was molesting or like messing with little kids or whatever. And then once they opened that investigation, they came in and just basically like raided his whole like 400 acres or whatever. And they seized the kids and everybody broke up or whatever. And I actually dated somebody who was actually on that compound.
Are you saying, hold on, wait a minute, Scary. You say this nigga was Epstein before Epstein?
Well, him and Epstein, he was 2004 and Epstein was 2005. So
Epstein was way before that.
Yeah, but
Epstein's been doing it since the 80s.
Well, yeah, I'm saying, but on record for as like being actually officially charged on record was 05 for Epstein.
That sound like African.
Epstein's first charge was 2004.
Let me ask you a question, Steve. So my question is, so after the trial, is it found out not only was he convicted guilty, but was he actually guilty of these crimes?
I mean, if you ask his encampment and people that rock with Malachi York, like that was on the compound that fuck with him, they was like no. And then you ask some that was say they was there,
So this sounds exactly like identical to David Koresh and what happened in Waco.
Yeah,
that's exactly the same fucking thing because they weren't even
black or white.
Black.
So
I'm about to say there better not be a white dude running around here named Malachi. I'd be damned.
Are you about to defend David Caruso?
David Koresh?
David Koresh, yeah, my bad.
How so?
How so? Because David Koresh they weren't molesting kids. So the only reason that Waco even fucking happened is because the ATF was about to, they needed to go over their budget so they could get more money. So they were already looking into them for weapons charges, but they needed more of a reason. And what better reason to say than that they're fucking a religious cult that's abusing children?
Well, they were,
but nothing they were a religious cult, sure, but they did not abuse children. There was zero fucking evidence of it at all.
There never was a trial for some reason. So
there never was a trial, but all the evidence that they've put out with it, and all the people that have talked about it, and the people that were there and that were close with the compound, there was never anything like that happening.
That's like Malachi York.
For people that are unaware, the ending of Waco ended in fire and gunfire. Nobody.
And then the ATF took action shots of themselves next to the smoldering corpses of women and children.
Say that again, one more time.
The ATF, the current head of the ATF, took action shots, selfies of themselves with the smoldering corpses and wreckage of women and children behind them because they saw it as a victory.
Well, not only that, but they didn't. According to them, they didn't know that there were burning corpses behind them.
Remember,
even though they torched the building.
I was standing there at that time that was going on. Remember, Y'all
What
remember
happened?
who the kid was? It was
Michael Jackson.
What do you mean?
No, it was Timothy McVeigh.
You're talking about the bombing now.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm talking about he was there. He was there when that stuff happened in Waco. He was there.
Oh, he was part of that.
watching.
You're saying, okay, I see what you're saying.
It's part of that compound.
Uncle Timmy was right as well. The federal government and the advancement of technology and it taking over our lives. Timothy McVeigh was fucking right.
He might have been right, but that's not.
If
how
you ever
prove
read his
you're right.
manifesto, he was fucking right. Now, if it's funny, if you want to talk about the way he bombed the FBI building, the federal building,
Yes.
why did the ATF call all of their people out of the building before it happened? Why did they practice truck bombs with Penske trucks for 2 months leading up to it? You want to get into
Well, first of all, what we not gonna do, Sly Fox, we're not gonna slide past the Fox that you just called that nigga Uncle Timmy. Did you just say Uncle Timmy? Go ahead.
Yes,
It's his
he
third
did.
uncle.
Yeah, that's what it's called. That's what he's called. I am an anti-government motherfucker, man. You guys know this.
I do believe that. Yes. He's not saying he's related to this uncle.
No
Timmy.
relation, but he's may as fucking well be.
Okay, well,
Uncle
he's an
Timmy.
official uncle of Sly Fox.
Go ahead. I'm done.
White people are weird.
Go ahead. What's the next time? What's the next topic?
Oh, we're on it right now. We're talking about it's basically Jeffrey Epstein files and things like that. And if I got this right, Ski, we're looking at Epstein because this is something where the people should know this information and what's on it, but to protect everybody. And I'm when I say everybody, I mean your favorite actors, your favorite rappers, your favorite politicians. For people that idolize politicians, they are all
keep
connected.
Jay-Z name out your goddamn mouth.
I can't.
Jay-Z is fucking guilty.
He fled the country.
Jay-Z is guilty as fuck.
He
Twice.
sure is.
He fled during the Epstein
No,
release.
you
and he
doing the
fled
wrong
again.
one. You doing
No,
the
that's
wrong
the
one.
Rock. No, that's the Rock.
No, you doing the wrong one. He might as well just do this.
Rocket pads.
do that.
It's got the rocks.
Either way, yeah, he fled the country when the Epstein files first quote unquote got released, and then he fled the country when Diddy got locked up. So man, he run.
Hey man, just because I don't want to be in America, I don't mean I fled the country. Because I went on vacation, don't mean I fled the country.
You know they coming
He
for
fled the country.
Hey, they coming for super bloops.
Fuck the Rock.
Amazing.
Everybody.
You see, I got the Illuminati eye over the Rock.
Yeah, but we already know that. You wear shirts and stuff that
I rebuke you.
your
in the
Hail
name of
Satan
Jesus.
shirt. You need to burn.
But nah, man. So I want to talk about Epstein just real quick. But we've been on here about an hour 15. I want to see what everybody because. Do y'all think they're actually going to release the files, or are we just going to get yanked around for years and years and years?
I think
are gone.
I think it's been sitting for 6 years, over 3 administrations, 3 different FBI directors. It's been neutered and wiped clean. However, what I will say is I think that they're going to sit there and come out and be like, oh, Epstein was working for an Iranian intelligence agency. I think that's what it is. I think this is going to be their ace in the hole to get us to regime swap with Iran because nothing else works. They couldn't kill Trump. They couldn't kill Trump, and they were going to pin that on Iran as well. And I didn't say anything about Jews, Pat, but since you mentioned it, he was Mossad. So,
We're back to the Jews, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think it's going to be neutered. I think they're just going to blame Iran.
Yeah, I think
if they do, they're going to chop that shit up.
It's
But
been
no,
chopped
I mean, you
up.
get his emails. They was asking a lot of questions. I mean, he was giving a lot of information. For him to be somebody that didn't do well in college, didn't do well in school, he got like offices at all these high.
Okay, but with those emails that they were talking about, they also in those emails, it's his brother asking him if he still has the video of Trump blowing Bill Clinton.
I did see that video.
So
wait,
are we going to trust that?
Again? Wait.
In the emails between Clinton or between Epstein and his brother's asking him if he still has the video of Bill Clinton of Trump blowing Bill Clinton.
But guess what? You seen it.
That's why. That's why.
Well, hold on.
So,
when you see the Epstein Island, though, the picture of Bill Clinton in the blue dress, though.
Yeah, but that wasn't from the island. That was from his apartment in New York.
Yeah, his Manhattan apartment. But I'm saying, like, this is, I mean, like, they be on some freaky deaky shit. And I don't put none past no white man.
But then it's also funny that in those same emails that they released.
Hold on. She said, "Say that again, Ski."
I said I don't put none past no white man. Shit, fuck that. No, they do anything.
Look at Diddy. Diddy is black and he was doing the same fucked up
Yeah,
shit.
you got us fucked up.
I'm not saying he not, but I'm just saying a white man. Hell yeah, and them niggas.
Man, ain't no color on
Hey,
being.
we ain't walk.
Ain't no
R.
color
Kelly
on
was
being
peeing
gay.
on people.
Tight
R.
pants.
Ain't
Kelly
no
was
color.
peeing on people.
Ain't no color on being gay. I see black. I see black
Other
men,
people-
white
I didn't say,
men.
no,
For other people's life,
Yeah,
you want
she's
to bring.
stretching. She's
I never,
stretching.
hold on, y'all. I never said nothing about nobody being, no difference about.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
No,
There's
it's
only
more-
white. There's
Hey.
only one white man on this panel.
No, I got her back because more white men do be on that freaky shit.
Right, I'm not putting nothing past them. What I'm saying,
My
I'm saying
life.
they do. I mean, I'm a woman. I meet men all the time. I meet all kind of men, and I do meet white men that's like, "Hey, can I pay you to peg? Hey, what about your toes? Send me a picture of some
That's
milk.
where your feet.
On the bottom."
Yeah.
You know what I'm
You got
saying?
white
Like,
people
it's a
fucked
white
up.
man. I'm not saying black
She
men
said you
don't
got.
do it.
That's a little bit of
They be the
form of
motherfuckers.
slavery right there.
I'm just
Hey,
keeping it P. No,
I give
they
you
One
do.
person
$300,
Yes.
trying to
and I'll
defend
do
myself.
anything. Or you'll do anything. We'll
I
pay
got
my
my
fucking
Mexican
house.
to help me.
Ass. But no discrimination. I'm just saying from my experience.
Now we pardon. Now we pardon.
I'm just saying, But
Hey,
yeah.
them white dudes do be getting freaky in the motherfucking here.
I
I be
don't,
sure.
and then Donald Trump is so erratic all the
Pat,
time.
man,
I'm saying, they just-
Pat, man, come on now. Don't, man. You gotta say something, man.
The only
Shout out to
I've
Mac
been
Mahon.
spending
Shout out to
Steve.
Mac Mahon that just had a white. He just interviewed a white man that's married to a tranny.
what?
Oh, okay. I'm gonna back with Ski.
What?
She's not wrong. Usually, it's the white race that comes with all that weird shit. But you can't act like weird shit is not weird shit on the other
No,
side.
it
So
is.
like, that's what
It
BA
is.
was talking
It
about.
is.
No, the white people be open. The black people be hiding.
There
The
we
niggas
go.
hide it. The black
And like
people
you don't
hide it.
see,
The
and like you
white
don't
boys
see,
would be like, yeah, I'm a fag. Yeah, I did this, I did. It be the dudes. It be the niggas. Especially like it be the niggas from what I be seeing. They be like, I ain't, but they really a fag. You know what I'm saying? Like I see that in here all the time. But I see the white boys. They got the Kool-Aid on their goddamn on their eyelashes. They walking around. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? But they be out with it though. I don't got nothing against
yeah, but you see
the
the
L
same thing with the
community or
black
something.
people. I mean, it's not all
They
not all
lying
the
though.
black
The
people.
black people
Shout out to
lying
No, but
though.
they're not
Kool-Aid.
all lying. They out there
Shout
with
out
the
to
Kool-Aid
Kool-Aid
too on
for
their
being
lips.
around for years.
Oh man,
BA.
boy, I
Oh,
done seen them
no.
wear this. They wear this right here. They wear this. They have cut
Like,
these up right here. These laundry bags and put them on as fishnets. I see it. They do that shit all the time, man. I see it here like it ain't nothing.
That's crazy, B.
It's like that episode of Boondocks when they talk about thug and love, and that's what I think. All these rappers that do time and come out of prison, they're all gay as fuck. If they suck dick and butt fuck each other while they're in jail, come out,
Nah,
they
hell
still
no.
like
Nah,
dick.
hell no.
No, not all of them, because
Nah,
I'm gonna
hell
tell you
no.
what my brother.
If you're a gangbanger and you go to jail, you gotta service your homies, bro. You
You're
gotta
not a
service your lifers,
gangbanger. You're
man.
not a gang.
No,
No,
that's
you're
in
not.
the
You're not a
GD.
gangbanger.
But if you
You're
are,
not.
though,
You're not with the mob, bro. If
if you're a
you're
GD, bro, they're
That's on the
fucking.
GDs,
listen,
bro.
listen.
You're a
GDs can do
GD,
that
you
shit.
know.
Now look, he talking right too because GDs for some reason I don't know what happened with Larry
That
Hoover and
gay
shit,
shit,
but
bro.
No,
they
that's in they
they
lit.
just like Muslims. Muslims accept. I don't give a fuck what you did. They accept you and they forgive you for it. It doesn't matter what it is. But the folks, yeah, the folks,
Yeah, it's in they lit that
it's in
if you
that.
get
Yeah, you
20,
right.
it's in the GDs
20
lit.
plus
If you
years, you can
get
have a
20
boy.
plus years, you able to have sex with a man without being considered a gay man.
That's
Yep.
exactly. I ain't gonna
And that's
And
stunt.
these
Yeah,
guys that are fucking down
yeah.
for their shit,
Hey,
they go to jail and they come out still sucking dick.
guess what though?
I'm sorry, Matt. Could you repeat that one more time? That lick one
It's in
more
they
time.
leg.
Okay,
That's
so
real though.
the GDs in their literature, it's okay for them to have sex with a man and not be considered gay if they got 20 or more
Or
years
better.
in prison. Okay.
Yep.
My brother was a GD, but my brother didn't partake in that shit. What happened with my brother was the total opposite. He went so long without getting ass. When he got out of jail, I paid a bitch to get him some pussy. His dick wouldn't get on hard. That's how long he ain't used the motherfucker. You ever
Shit, but
heard if you don't use it, you lose it? That
Yeah,
shit is true.
that's real.
Yeah, but it's women. But actually, though, it's a lot of women, especially like in the max prisons, because this is ran by inmates. So it's a lot of women in here. Like I'm up here by Chicago. It's a lot of young women that come here. Some of them cute, some of them nice looking. They have sex with the inmates. It just depends on what type of person you are. Are you a clean person? Like if you're a player, you're a player. You know what I mean? If you're attractive, if you can talk to a woman and you got the charisma, or you're gonna get you a young lady in here, and you're gonna
Just
have
Man, if you
between
areas
if
where
you
you
me
didn't
and
can.
you,
did
but
if you didn't
just
did
between you
2-3
and me.
years, any bitch would look good.
Hold on one sec, Mackie. Just between you and me, BA, there's not a tall ass chick in there by the name of Gina.
What's her last name?
I don't want to do that. Is she tall as hell and her name is Gina?
Oh man, why
It
you
might
bring his
be. It
name
might
up,
be.
man?
Just tell me
Hey
this. Her
bro,
last
and,
name. Her
hey
last
bro,
name
in
start with
jail
P.
you gotta tell a motherfucker their last name. They don't know
Her
first
last name
name.
start with P.
A P?
Yeah.
As in purple?
Yeah.
No.
It might be though, but I know
She
for
tall.
I know for sure
She about
it's
6 foot tall,
it's a
nice
tall
hair.
chicken here.
Damn, you put the
Man,
PB
I
on
don't give a
for
damn how she look. If you ain't
Damn.
had no ass in 10 years, any motherfucking
This
woman
this
doing
the
this.
There
maximum
you go, man.
security love connection going on over here.
It is
Right.
I'm just
1,000.
I'm
Listen
just
to me.
doing some
It is
homework.
one.
I'm
It is
just doing some homework for a
1,000%.
friend of mine. That's all. Just doing
It
some
is
homework
one
for a friend
thousand
of mine.
percent that the inmates in here where I'm at. It is 1,000% that they are having sex. It is not a shadow of a doubt. They are. Who can hear me saying this? Is this like live, like everywhere?
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
this
it's
is live,
live,
live.
baby. It's
You
live.
about to get a lot
Uh,
of motherfuckers court martial.
yeah, just kidding. Now they know what's going on. It's a lot of young ladies definitely having sex in here for sure.
Give us a
Without
number between 1 and 10. How bad are they?
what you mean? Like how bad are the women?
Not
Yeah.
attractive.
Shit, it's some
Because
in
I
here
know,
nice. It's some in
because
here nice.
like you
No,
said, there's people on this stream that know you, and I know you got really good taste.
you know
So
me. You know me.
some people on
Woo.
this show might know you.
It's some
Man,
nice ones,
you
man.
give
It's
if I
some
did
Depending on
10
real
where
years
you
nice
come
in
ones.
from.
jail, you could give me a 500-pound bitch and she gonna look like Burmese burgos.
You gotta think. It's people in here. It's people in here who will call they people and be like, look, I need you to come get a job in here, whatever. Like we done had strippers in here. We done had we got some that you'll stop and be like, damn, you know what I mean? It's some beautiful women. Like it's done been. I've been gone a minute, but I still got great taste. Yeah,
Your
we
right
done had some
arm ain't
beautiful
bigger than
women.
your left one, is it?
My shit ain't. Hey,
No.
I ain't gonna lie to you. This motherfucker right here done been pregnant probably at least about 10 times. You hear me? No cap. He done been pregnant about 10
My
times. You
nigga.
hear me? No cap. You know, I ain't no stranger to danger. You hear
Hey,
me?
My
long as you
nigga.
ain't
Straight up.
partaking in that GD shit, you good.
Hell,
Yeah, no
man, I
GD
would.
shit.
Hey, this one thing about me. Everybody like I'm like, and I don't mean to say it like it because it's like my past life. You feel me? I'm a street nigga for sure. Like any nigga down here, and I'm gonna tell you where I'm at. Any nigga down here in Michigan City, you know, I ain't even got to talk about it. The sky blue. They gonna tell
My
you
nigga
what's up with
Bird
me.
song, I said, what's happening?
Bird song, that ain't his name, but I got you. You talking about
That's his
Bird
last
Gang?
name. Nah,
Bird song. I
that's
thought you
his
talking
last
about Bird Gang.
no, Bird
What
song.
they call him?
Twan.
Which one? From where?
A million
He
twans,
from,
man.
he from Michigan City, but he came from that.
That nigga know me for sure.
Yeah.
He know me for sure. You say Twan, he from that.
Yeah. He from Michigan City, but he lived in that.
Oh, he from Michigan City then. And his
Yeah.
name Twan.
Yeah.
Twan.
But anyway, so y'all,
Bird song. He know me for sure.
I have a question. So
Yeah.
I like to talk about solutions, right? So what do y'all think we could have? What solutions could we do to kind of like, I guess maybe fix it, or
Anarchy.
Fix what?
Yeah, anarchy.
like
The judicial.
or just just try to make sure a little more fair and better, and bring it to people's attention and kind of bring a little more awareness to it, like because people be trying to like criminalize like crime, which is cool, which is a crime, right? And you should, but I mean, people make mistakes and shit happens, but I feel like people still should get due process. People should have quality living quarters. People should still be able to have like effective counsel, if it's public defender paid or not. You know what I'm saying? Like what do you think we could do as just individual? I know not go to jail and not get in trouble. That's just common.
Of course that. Let me say this, because I've been listening to you. I've been listening to you talk, Miss Scott, baby, and I think that the people in charge of the sentencing and stuff need to have one of their family members incarcerated. You know what I mean? Like, does that make sense? Like, so they
Yeah,
can
it
have
makes
an
complete
So they can
sense.
understanding.
feel your
It's
pain.
like when the politicians send people to war, they never send their sons.
Never send their sons. No, your son needs to be on the front line. So you need to be able to like sentence, and then we're gonna see how you sentence. Like if you sentence your brother for the same crime, you got to sentence the next person for. You feel me? Also make sure that when people their appeal, like it's a lot of people down here getting jerked out of appeals because, like I said, you pay all your money up front, and once they get your money, they can string you along. They want to charge you $400, $300 for a phone or for a visit just to come see you. But if I pay you for my lawyer, why am I also paying you to come and see me? Why do I have to pay for a phone call? You don't want me to be on uh, uh, a cell phone. Like I can show you right here on these the tablets that we use. I can show you on here right now how many times I've messaged my lawyer. I have to schedule an appointment a month out just to get on the phone with him.
Your money
Why is
should be
that?
covering that.
Have you guys ever heard of something called the Stanford Prison Experiment?
Yep.
No.
You
I
said
figured-
what? Say that again.
Stanford Prison Experiment. It was done in the 70s, I
No.
believe.
Right.
So the point of this experiment, and this goes to everything that we're talking about, is this college, Stanford.
What you said it was called? I'm sorry. What was it called?
It's called the Stanford Prison Experiment. The point of this experiment, let's call it, was to see how far someone will go when they have a position of authority egging them on to do stuff and making it seem like it's their duty. What happened was, in a very short description, is they hired, I think it was like, numbers may be wrong, but 8 people total. And 4 of those people were prisoners, and 4 of those people they made into COs. And it was a fake prison set up at the school and things like that.
This is Steve.
What?
I'm sorry.
So they had them at the school, and they told these people that were COs that they needed to do certain things to these inmates at certain times throughout the week. And as they went further and further in the week, these things that they were supposed to do for these inmates or against these inmates got worse and worse as far as like moral base and things that you just wouldn't do to another human being. And what they found out was you can take people off the street, just regular everyday citizens, and put them in a position of power. And all of a sudden, at a certain point, they will start doing things against their own code because it's a power trip. They're being told to do that. It's their duty now.
Mhm.
So when you get into these large ass systems and things like that, you got to understand why people, and this goes back to what Mac was talking about, why people get into these fields to begin with. And I still think it's money and power. So unless you remove money and power from the system, you're never going to change the system.
And on top of that, to add to what you're saying, right? Let's just be real. To be a judge, to be a lawyer, to be in any position of absolute power, you had to grow up a goddamn, I won't say a lame, but a quote unquote good kid, right?
Coward.
And so you don't have empathy for those who break laws and shit like we do. See, it's easy for me to say, because this is how I believe. I believe that a lot of time should only be given to people who hurt other people, like rapists, murderers, robbers, kidnappers, shit like that. Drugs and shit like that, because I come from the streets. So I know we only sell drugs to survive. So we're really, in our minds, that's really not a crime
So
because we're making a living.
I got a
You're a
question.
prisoner. You're a prisoner
if
of
you come from,
the economy.
but
Right.
if you come from, let's say, a square background where you never had any crime in your life, you probably been picked on, probably didn't have the best selection of women, you was always treated like a fucking goofy, and now that you've made it in life and shit is changing for you, you have resentment for certain people. I'm gonna teach you. Like I didn't saw a case where I was in court one time and the lawyer, I'm sorry, not the lawyer, the judge went to school with a person that was fighting a case. And just so happened I knew the dude. And they gave his ass 5 years for some stupid shit. I think it was a DUI or some shit. It was some stupid shit. Only because dude picked on this nigga when he was in high school. And now he's a judge, and he I remember when you used to chase me home.
Something about that, Mac. When I was in high school, me and News went to the same high school. They had this thing called it's not JROTC.
Who is that saying that? You went to North Central?
I went to North Central, yeah.
Me
2003. I'm
Me
not gonna
too.
ask your name on camera, but
It's
we can talk
cool.
later.
Yeah.
There was JROTC for the military and all that shit, but there was also a junior like police academy, and these were all the people that nobody liked, who talked shit all the time and ran away, things like that. They would have these motherfuckers standing. The police in the high school would have these junior police stand at corners and stuff and narc to them during the school day. So it goes to what Mac is saying. It's like these are the people that Kurt or Sly Fox was saying, like cowards. These people didn't get along with other people. They started shit. They were always yeah. They have resentment.
These are the judges and the lawyers. Is that what you guys are saying? That these
Judges,
No,
lawyers,
I'm saying
police
the most
officers,
powerful
all of them.
positions.
correctional officers.
Yeah, every
Most
one of them.
powerful positions you have to go to school. Like for instance, for you, right? You're trying to be what you say you're a paralegal or something.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be that hip to life and you got to study so goddamn much. So usually those be straight flying kids that didn't have a lot of social skills that nobody really fuck with. And so now that when they grow up, they have resentment for that shit.
Can I say something? Honestly, I'm total opposite, right?
Because you're a woman.
He's speaking on generalities too.
Oh, okay, but
where the ticket house at?
Yandy's.
Yeah, you're a woman.
Okay, then.
You look like a fairly attractive woman, so I'm pretty sure you didn't have a problem with men.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, but all I'm saying is like I want to let me tell you why I want to be an attorney, lawyer, whatever you want to call it, right? It's because I'm very good at writing. I love to read. It's no math. It was just a basic science for my bachelor's degree. You feel me? My little math and stuff. I like to write. I'm a great writer. I wanted to be an editor and a journalist, but when I started getting tattoos, I just knew that shit was out the window. I don't have the cookie cutter look no more. But it's just something that I like to do, and it just so happens to equivalate to me being able to help others and teach others and be able to defend others and stuff like that. But it's something that's easy for me because I like to read and I like to write. So it was never about I'm gonna.
That's because you live in the woman experience, not the man experience. It's a whole lot different from the man experience.
Truth.
And it's so crazy because it's like people don't understand. A lot of times, most of these men get rejected from women. They're not cool in society, and so they forced to become something positive, which usually ends like, for instance, like a scientist, a neurologist or some shit. Like you got to go to college for fucking 15 years to be a neurologist.
Down,
so you got to really be a fucking lame ass nigga
man,
to do that.
All right, man. Have a good night.
Talking to you.
All right. But yeah, so you gotta pretty much be a square kid to be a neurologist. But now, once you make it into your career, you're making $375,000 a year. So now you got money, and you looking at all the women that curved you back then because you pulling up in your Ferrari, and now you got a chip on your shoulder. You got something to prove because you've been rejected your whole goddamn life.
Yeah, that spite is real.
Hell yeah, I just saw it happen. Luckily for me,
police most of the time.
Yep.
Absolutely. Anybody that want to be a police got a problem with authority.
Because most of them were either bullied in high school. But I mean, I will say this though, there is like a very small fraction of cops that genuinely want to help people or genuinely want to protect their community. And those guys, that's a very fucking small percentage, man. And that lasts like 2 years. That lasts like 2 years or until their first like incident involving a predator or something. You know what I mean? And then they end up like every other cop.
And like Purple was saying, right, when he was talking about the Stanford shit, how he was saying gradually over time, people got more possessive with their power, because this is what happens. When you're new to something, just say like this. Say I'm a new judge. When I'm a new judge, I come in there and want to do the right thing because I'm fresh and I'm going by the book because I don't know the ins and outs and what I can and cannot get away with. As you go on, as years progress, you start learning the system and you start learning with shit. I can get away with this. I can get away with that. And then you start implementing this type of shit in your behavior and your work duties. You're like, you know what? I ain't got to do this. I'm a motherfucking judge. Just like when I see a lot of shows where they catch judges driving drunk.
Oh, they do.
Be so motherfucking egotistical that they will literally get caught drunk by a police and get out the car like, nigga, you know the fuck I am.
Well, who's that governor of Indiana?
It's something simple too. Like people do it at work. You know, if you have a great job, if you fresh, you know what you can and can't do. But then when you've been there for a while, of course, man, you know the ins and outs.
Yep,
When you
it's just time
off and smoke.
Well, it's any.
Can I say something though? I'm
Good.
sorry. No, this is my thing. You're right. Judges and people do stuff, but this I think I fought the people for not holding them accountable because you can go to the bar association, they can get in trouble for that shit. That's why I keep saying I'm not a lawyer because
Yeah,
that
but
shit's
baby,
real.
but
I'm just
guess what you're
saying.
saying, baby?
I'm just saying.
Who actually has? Most people don't even have the knowledge to know who the fuck to talk to get a judge in
But
trouble.
guess what? I bet if your ass was trying to find some other shit she was trying to do, I bet you can find every goddamn step. One to
Absolutely,
10. So pick and
absolutely,
choose your fucking battles. Which one's important?
absolutely,
Your fucking freedom, goddamn it. Your motherfucking
absolutely.
real
But you
shit,
know,
bitch. What
niggas
you
don't
worry
do
about?
that.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
you're trying to hold the people that we're talking about being in trouble and being in the amount of having the kind of social issues that would bring you to this kind of issue with a judge are not the kind of people that are going to be thinking this way. They're
Hell
not the kind of
no.
people that are going to be filing appeals. They're not the kind of people that are going to be looking into getting their rights back. They're not the kind of people that have the knowledge, period, to
Or
do
even the
that.
drive to want to find out. And the point, and
No, they're
to
going to do their. They're
piggyback
going
off
to.
your point,
That's
I'm gonna
true.
tell
Yeah,
you this, right? So all my life I've
Those
been
niggas
riding
is
around.
lazy.
All my life I've been riding around in my cars. I put music in all my cars, riding around. Dun, 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 right? They've been taking my cars since I was a teenager. Until one day, one of my homies told me, he said, bro, you can go to a hearing and get your car back for free. I didn't even know this shit, right? You can literally, so they when they impound your car, they give you this yellow slip. And
yep.
on the yellow slip is a hearing to go to court to dispute whatever you feel like is unappropriate why they took your car,
And if the
right?
cop don't show up,
No. I went to one time my son got caught in my car with he had a BB gun. They charged him with a UUW, which is a
damn,
pistol case, right?
Yeah.
They took my car and pounded it, right?
fucking Chicago.
And this is when my homie told me this shit. I went up there to it's a little bottom half. You tear the little bottom half off and you go to the hearing, right? This is something I never did. I always just paid the fine, got my car, and went on about my business, right? But this particular time, I went to the hearing. I went in that motherfucker. The judge was like, he asked me, did you give your son authorization to drive your car? I said no. He took my car while I was at work. The man gave me a slip to go get my car out the pound for free. And all this time I've been paying $750 fine plus 160
Wow.
for
Well,
years.
But see,
a lot of
that's
For
people
why.
don't even know
years,
you
bro.
can go
Did
That's why
get
never
the one
know that I
thing.
could
traffic
dispute this
tickets.
shit.
That's why the
Never
one thing
knew
I
that I
always
could
tell
go get
people:
my car for free.
if you learn any lesson from me, if you take any quote from me, if you don't know your rights, you don't have any. And most
Exactly.
people don't know their fucking rights. And I am a stickler about that shit. Anything we get at work, any kind of read these terms and conditions, I read that shit because I like to know what I can and can't get away with.
Yep.
I look for loopholes in that shit, But
Hey,
if you don't
even
know your rights, you've got
yeah.
none.
You can go to
Facts.
Barnes and
Even
Nobles and
even
get a
my rims,
constitution
My
right?
for
job
$10.
paid me.
I done been in a position, right, where I didn't hit so many motherfucking potholes in Chicago and fucked up my rims, had
Dead
to buy
ass.
new rims, new tires. I did not know that you can go downtown, file a claim, and they
Yep.
will fucking pay for your shit if you hit a pothole in the city. I did not even know that.
Yeah,
I've
you
been
just gotta tell
paying
them
for
where it
new
was.
rims all my life.
Yeah, you just gotta tell them where it was that you hit the
Shit.
shit.
All you gotta do is take a picture of the pothole because it's the city. This is what taxpayer
It
dollars
probably
do.
takes
The
forever though,
taxpayer
don't it?
dollars supposed to take care of the streets.
How
And
much?
if it's a
How long do it
pothole,
take for you to get that check though?
oh, it took me a while. It took me about 9 months, but I got it.
Yeah, usually they say like 30 to 90 days, but usually it's like 6 to 9 months.
Yeah, I got mine in about 9 months. But I
Indiana
went up.
move away. We ain't gonna talk about Indiana because they come a little quick. Ours come about 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah, but Indiana's
But
not
the
shit
city
compared
of
to Chicago.
Chicago be
Yeah,
on bullshit.
I'm just saying Indiana's
the
come quick.
population of Chicago is like 3 times that of Indiana as a whole.
That
I
and they're
got though,
missing
but it's
about
still
$2 billion.
we quick on our toes though. We very efficient around here. I'm just
Yeah, I
saying.
Yeah,
mean,
man.
that's
I
another
like
thing
That's
too.
red. That's red
Indiana,
state efficiency.
Knowing your laws and your rights is definitely beneficial.
and that's why I'm going to
Period.
get the money, and that's why I teach people that. That's why I tell them. That's why like I had went. My friend asked me to go to small claims court with her, right? Because she was suing a landlord, right? And the judge, I didn't know the judge. I didn't know who the judge was at the small claims because it was Washington Township, right? So I went in there with her just as her friend, to go with her because she was kind of a little scared because her old landlord had a lawyer, right? And she didn't have nobody. So I was like, I'll go with you, you know what I mean? Whatever. So when we get there, the judge was a judge that used to be my brother, public defender, when he first got on his murder case, right? And so I forgot, you know, I mean, I didn't forget, but you know, I was like, okay, boom. So he had put 7 case law right on the table for her to
It's open.
look over, right, to decide what she was going to attach her case to, right? And so, okay, you know, we sworn in, blah blah blah. So she comes to the table, she sits down. Make a long story short, she asked if I could come sit at the table with her, so I go sit at the table with her. So when we started to talk about each case and each like statute or whatever, he was like, Miss Gray, you can't do that. And I was like, I'm not telling her what to do. I'm just kind of explaining it to her. You feel me? Blah blah blah. So I know he was like, Miss Gray, you can't explain it to her. I'm like, I'm not. You know, he's like, Miss Gray, you can't. He's like, I can give you a recess for like 5 minutes in the hallway. So when he did that, I realized like how important it is that a person do know their rights, because I wasn't even really telling my friend which law to pick, nothing to pick. I was just kind of explaining to her how this correlates to her case. You know what I'm saying? And he made us take a recess outside the court because he said I couldn't help her. So I just realized with that people knowing their rights at any level on anything, like Sly Fox said, is pertinent to your life and to your livelihood. Because when you know your rights, you can live within that median. And you know.
And you know what though? I'm gonna tell you this. This is one stereotype that black people got fucked up, right? You know how when you see white people get pulled over and they get out the car, fuck you pull me over for it, and they get jazzy with the police. On the other hand, black people be scared. You know why? Because when police pull white people over and they get out the car acting like that, they assume that they know the law. And so they act different. They know damn well when a nigga get out the car, nigga, he's an ignorant nigga. So they know he don't know shit. So we can violate his rights, and because he don't know his rights.
Well, and to be
They
fair,
automatically assume that white people are educated on their rights, and so they treat them accordingly. It ain't got shit to do with the skin color.
Which one's more likely to hop out shooting?
That's what I was going to bring up. There's a lot.
No,
of
yeah, you're absolutely right.
Over.
You're absolutely right. And as a stereotype, but they still think that white people are more educated when it comes to rights as it pertains to getting pulled over and what the police can and cannot do. They off back just think niggas don't know shit.
It's like they actually listen to them.
Yeah. White people get out of the car. Hey, buddy, what you pull me over for? I didn't do nothing.
Well,
I know my rights, buddy.
That's some white people. I keep my hands on the motherfucking wheel. I've been handcuffed way too many times.
You don't know your rights. It's because you don't know your rights.
Oh, I know my rights.
Yeah.
I just don't trust.
You don't know your rights, Pat. You gotta hop out. You gotta hop out as fast as you can with your ID and like this to the cop.
I'll have a spray painted black sport gun too.
With that shaved white face and an ID and knowing your rights, you will be okay, sir.
Well, back in the day, that wasn't true.
They wouldn't even pull him over.
Shit.
No, they'll definitely pull his ass over. Any white man running around bumping Tech 9 that loud, I'm pulling his ass.
I rode with too many ex-cons and gang members.
He just got drugs.
Yeah, he definitely got drugs.
This guy's got drugs.
Yeah, anybody bumping Tech 9 got drugs in their car.
You got drugs, or at least an unlicensed firearm.
Well, that might have been.
See, the reason why niggas act crazy when they get pulled over, because most of the time they ass illegal like a motherfucker. That's the only time.
But that's the biggest tell, and that's why I watch a lot of these cop videos, and like I'm like, guys, like if you would have just yes sir, no sir, and been on your fucking way, you would have been fine.
No,
but you have to act wild because you got a gun on you. It's like just be cool, relax.
Let me tell you.
I've never been like that. When I'm wrong, I'll be like, no sir.
Hey, listen.
Yes, officer.
Listen.
But listen, let me tell you why the officer. So listen, me and my daughter was driving. My license was suspended, and I was coming off of Benford, right? And the lady was like, so I seen the sheriff, right? This when we still had a sheriff. I seen her like behind me, but I got over to the right lane, right? We at 71st and 75th, right? So we going. We coming. So she got behind me, and I turned left, got in the went into the CVS. We hopped out. She said, "Get your ass back in the car!" Like she had pulled the taser on me, everything. Because basically what she said was, she said because the way I was driving in between the lanes and trying to get away from her, she said that's what made her stop me. She said she ran my plates and she seen I was suspended, and she looked how long it had been suspended, right? And it had only been suspended like a little bit over a month. And she said she wouldn't even have fucked with me if I would have just kept driving and not, not got over and not did all that shit. So now moving forward, I just.
Not only that, but if you've seen enough women cops in action, they're the most schizo, scary, coward motherfuckers. Like they should not be cops. I'm sorry.
She did. I was with my daughter. My daughter was probably 9 at the time.
You said women shouldn't be cops. You said P?
I agree.
They shouldn't be cops. They shouldn't be soldiers. They shouldn't be in any position of combat to make those decisions to shoot and kill people.
Agreed.
I ain't mad at that. Let's say, hey, I ain't mad at that at all. I just wanted you to say it. EK, take
I'll
us
say
out,
it.
man. I gotta go to bed.
Yeah, I'm sick. Hey, wait, 1 second before
I
you
got
do.
homework.
Before you do, Ski, great job tonight.
Thank you so much.
Yep, this turned into a good show. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you so
Perfect.
much. Thank you guys for
Well,
coming.
no. You close it out tonight. This you got to finish the show out now. Close
Yes,
it out
with
then.
Ski closing it out.
Closing it out.
All right, y'all. We let you know about the unjust justice system.
Yes,
We had some
did.
nice dialogue tonight. I appreciate you all for logging in tonight with us tonight. I thank you all for being on the panel. Max, Sly Fox, Red Pill, EK, News. I love you guys.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Let you know podcast, and we out.
And
Appreciate
tune
you.
in live from the Foxhole every Friday night at 10 p.m.
It's always a treat when real players meet.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.